the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Dominion Copter Combat Pack. This is the last review of everything I got for my birthday, and with that, this is a very awesome set. Super excited to take a look at it. Taking a look at the box, you got beautiful package artwork here with the awesome render of the Rajasaurus attacking the helicopter. Really cool looking. Definitely want to keep this package art for sure. Then here on one of the sides of the packaging, it shows you the different ways the helicopter can be destroyed, which is very interesting. I'll have to take a closer look at that when we take a closer look at the figure. And then here on the back, it shows you a really cool scene of the Rajasaurus attacking the helicopter. It says Kayla Watts is in it, shooting a missile, and it shows you the different ways of destruction the helicopter can fall into, which is looking very cool. And it says the dinosaur is electronic, which you can push down on it, and it shows you a bunch of facts app information. And it says you can get the extreme damage Allosaurus, which I wonder if this counts as an extreme damage set because the Rajasaurus has wounds. And then when you open the packaging, you got a lot of assembly to do, especially with the helicopter. You got a lot of pieces to apply, and you got the tail to add on to the dinosaur. But this is everything you get inside the box, which is really cool. I'm really looking forward to putting this together. So let's go ahead and put this thing together and take a closer look at it. So here we have the Copter Combat Pack out of the box, and this is a very nice set. I will say I'm very impressed with it. Obviously, it's much better when you finally take everything out and put it all together, then you can finally see the full glory of this amazing set. And this is actually a pretty cool looking, just like a classic Jurassic Park set in my opinion, because you get a really cool looking vehicle, a cool looking dinosaur, and a human, and you kind of get like the whole package here, you know, just a mix of humans and vehicles and dinosaurs. It just looks really nice. It's like a classic Jurassic Park set in my opinion. But we're going to start with the human figure first. So this is our new Kayla Watts figure for this line. It's the exact same one that we got with that Kayla 2-pack with the Pyroraptor. The only difference is actually there's a lot of stuff that isn't painted on this figure that is painted on the original, which is very interesting. But you know, taking a look at the nice head sculpt here, it's very much like the previous one I have. Nicely done on the facial expression. You know, looks just like the actress and the character from the movie. The hair is nicely sculpted too, with the nice curly texture, with the nice color, the fade from like the goldish color to like the normal black color. But yeah, everything else is painted very nicely, especially across the entire body here. Her little suit right here is nicely sculpted in like a nice green color, and then her leather like pilot looking coat is nicely textured. Like I said in the previous review for this character, very nice textures on her coat, which is looking very nice, almost like dinosaur skin, or almost look like any kind of animal skin. But you know, in the movie it's got like this like the normal like pilot coat jacket that you see a lot of these characters wear, which is looking very cool. Nicely sculpted as well. Look at all that detail, looking very nice. The pants are nicely sculpted too. Good amounts of wrinkles, which make it a little bit more lifelike, and detail around the belt area. And her shoes are looking nice as well. Nicely sculpted. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, basically the same figure. It's just painted less than the other one, which is very interesting. I don't know why Mattel did that, but I guess that's just the way it is. We'll go ahead and compare that right now. So here is the original one that came with the Pyroraptor set. You can definitely see there is a huge amount of difference with the colors. You know, this part of the coat isn't painted. Her gloves aren't painted. I think that might be it. Just those two things. But you know, an overall great figure, a great character overall. So very nice. Interesting that they didn't even paint the other parts on here. It's actually kind of a letdown with this figure. It would have been nice if they gave it this great paint job on this figure, but it could be just budget wise with such a large set. So very interesting, but you know, overall really great figure. So this is the Rajasaurus. This is the exact same figure that we got with the This marks one of the 3 Rajasaurs that were released this year. We got the normal brown one, then like a bluish one, and then we got this green one, so 3 in total. But honestly though, this is a really awesome paint job for a Rajasaurus, so really glad I have this one. Very realistic in my opinion, and it actually works really well with the original rather than the blue one. So as you can see, much like what we talked about when we reviewed this guy before, lots of great detail. Look at that face. That is a lot of great sculpt work, Mattel. Very great job. All those large bumps and osteoderms all over the jaws and face. Much like other Abelisaurs, are always covered in wrinkly bumps all over the face. Kind of give it that, almost like that gross, wrinkly texture, which is sick. It looks really awesome. Teeth are nicely sculpted as well. Yeah, just a very well done sculpted figure. Like, look at all that scale work. And because it's so well sculpted, it feels really nice when you rub your finger against it. It feels very realistic. Very cool looking. The sculpt is just really well done on this figure. And like I said of the previous review, you know, it's interesting how they applied the osteoderms on the back, you know, because it's not like the other real life Abelisaurs. These ones are very oversized and kind of spread out in weird areas, which kind of adds to the uniqueness and making this one stand out with other dinosaurs. So very nicely done. Very happy to have this one actually. So this is looking very nice. The colors are amazing. Like I said, the colors are awesome. I love the green. Green dinosaurs are always fun to have. But with the green, with the lighter color underneath and the application of darker patterns on the green, just makes it have a really good contrast. Makes it look more lifelike. You know, when you're having a lighter color, you gotta have a lot of like dark splotches kind of mixed in to kind of tie everything together. And it looks really nice. Unfortunately, this figure suffers from the way that Mattel likes to paint their figures sometimes, especially the ones in these size. They only like paint like the front half of the dinosaur. So basically when you cut it in half, this half is like nicely painted and then the other one is just a plain green. So it would have been nice if the colors literally would have continued all the way down, at least to this part of the tail would have been nice. And then obviously continuing on the underbelly as well. But at least on the front half, it looks really nice. Well, I think there's a lot of different colors. So like the main one's green, and you got this lighter color on the underside. Then you got like this dark brown for this part of the head right here, and the little horn, which I wish that was painted in like this lighter color as well. But then you got like this darker brown patterning over here and on the arms. And then on the face, you got a different amount of like dark colors, which is like a glossy, shiny black underneath the eye and then this part of the face. So 2 different types of like dark colors, which is pretty cool. Adds to, I guess, makes this guy a little bit more special because there's more paint added to it. And then you got the classic painted on scratch marks, which look really nice. Just, you know, would have been nice if these were actually sculpted claw marks instead of just painted on, because it looks kind of weird because it looks like you just literally painted red on the body and you can still see the scales peeking through there. Mattel has done this before with a bunch of dinosaurs. I'm sure we're all used to it, but overall it looks really nice. Then inside the mouth is nicely painted as well. And then the eye is looking awesome as well in this nice yellow. Makes it stand out. And then, you know, in terms of articulation, the arms can move all the way around and they can pivot in and out. So very nice there. Very fluent, not loose, but very fluent on mine. So that works. And then the legs can basically go 360. They kind of latch in certain areas to help with stability sometimes. And then you got a little joint here in the tail, which you do have to apply the tail on the dinosaur when you get it out. And then here's the scan code for this Rajasaurus. And then that's basically it for articulation. Everything else is tied to the action feature, which is just like the original one. You just press down on the dinosaur and it makes noise. So nice sound effects. One of them is definitely the Scorpius Rex sound effect. But you know, they're applied very nicely to this dinosaur. We'll do a quick comparison here with the original Rajasaurus, which this one I probably prefer more because it's the very first one in the line, so I consider it to be the original, which looks really nice. I love how the horn on here is painted, makes it stand out. I love the browns and blues, it really looks good, but you know, sometimes I'm a sucker for these type of colors. The green with the dark splotches works really well. The eyes are slightly different too. This one has a circular pupil, whereas this one has a slit for a pupil, so very different there. But very interesting. But you know, the paint is applied pretty much the same, you know, only the front half is painted. But very cool though, very cool to have two Rajasaurs. Definitely don't need that blue one now, and I mean, I was never gonna get it anyway, but I like to have, I think these two work pretty good together. Now to get onto the main thing of this set, and that is the helicopter. So I missed out on the helicopter, the ACU helicopter that came with the Destructosaurus set, which I think were only exclusive at Toys R Us until they went out of business, and then these toys were just never found anywhere else. So I missed out on that set. I really wanted it because it came with an ACU soldier and an ACU helicopter. Didn't really care much about the Pteranodon that came with it, but I really wanted it for those two things, and I missed out on it. And so finally, I'm happy to have an actual Mattel helicopter in my collection. And not only that, this one is an actual Biosyn helicopter. You know, I love how it has the Biosyn Genetics logo on it, which is awesome because, you know, I have other vehicles that have similar logos. I have vehicles with the Jurassic World logo, a vehicle with the Jurassic Park logo, then a vehicle with an InGen logo. So that's really cool. Now I have one with the Biosyn logo, which is awesome. And this helicopter is straight out of the movie. It looks just like the one seen flying in and out of the Biosyn Sanctuary, which is obviously, this is the one that the characters escaped from during the final battle sequence in Dominion, which looks really cool. I'm very happy about this one. So taking a look at this one closely, this is looking very cool. I love this thing. It looks awesome. Makes for an awesome, cool, unique looking helicopter, especially with these little engines added on here. But obviously it's awesome because it says Biosyn Genetics on it. Hopefully we get more Biosyn products in the future from Mattel. I think that looks really cool. And the helicopter you had to assemble yourself. I believe we put on the propellers, these two turbines here, the window right here, one of the doors, the missile launchers, and the landing gear. I think those are the only things we applied assembly wise to this set. These little turbines here can spin very nicely, and then this part here, the propellers automatically close like this, but you can separate them into an X, and then they can spin easily, which works pretty good. Really wish this had a button where the propellers can spin on their own. That's what I was really wondering, if this set was going to include that, but they kind of didn't. But you know, that's cool. The back propellers do not spin. That's just a solid piece of plastic. Yeah, very nicely done, and the sculpt work is very nicely done as well. Nice amount of detail applied to this helicopter. All those little screws outlining the everything, the nice amount of detail works really well. Yeah, very nicely sculpted, I would say. And it's a pretty good sized helicopter too, even though it's not big enough to fit a whole bunch of figures inside like in the movie. It's a solid piece. It works perfect for your collection. You can create a lot of cool scenes with it, so very happy with this. This helicopter apparently comes with a lot of dino damage, which is super cool. Vehicles, Jurassic Park vehicles that have the ability to be destroyed from a dinosaur attack are always an A+ in my book. You know, it kind of calls back to the Kenner days with all their vehicles being able to break apart from dinosaur attacks. This one is able to do that as well, which is super cool. One thing you can do is that this little cockpit window here can actually come out, which, you know, could be an easy way to store your figures in it, but also you can have a dinosaur rip it out. So it's a really nice little solid plastic piece. And then we got an actual damaged feature that can actually be applied with a button. So this is a button right here that if you push that, and this whole side door comes off, and it's all jagged, so it literally was like it just ripped apart. So that's really cool. Nice little piece there. And apparently I was looking at the instructions, and it also said that these turbines right here can be taken out as account for the dinosaur damage, which is very interesting. So I mean, I guess I could try that, but I don't want to risk breaking it. But it says that looking on the inside, looking very nice. The little seat right here, the little clip for the figure to sit inside. Very nice looking inside. I was saying you got a little rubbery piece right here, which is like the little handle that they use to fly, and a little screen right here. So very cool on the inside. Nothing too special, but looks really cool. And you got this little piece right here on this side of the door that once you open that, you release the missile launcher gun right here, which can be easily pushed. And I have to go get that. Then it comes with an extra missile right there. So really cool right there. We can try applying the figure. So we can apply kilowatts on the inside if I can get it. Sometimes these things are not easy to put on. Okay, there we go. So there she is inside, and we can put this in somewhere. Okay. Sometimes these are pretty tricky. There we go. And then we can put this on there. And now she is ready to fly in the helicopter to take on the Rajasaurus, which is really cool. Really cool looking set, especially if it comes with a dinosaur that can attack it and all that, which is really cool. This helicopter, I think that's a peg hole, so you could have characters stand on it for some cool action shots like you see in a bunch of movies, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's basically gonna be it for this review, everyone. So yeah, I honestly really love this set. Highly recommend it. It's nice to get a Biosyn helicopter, and it's also awesome for me to get an actual Mattel helicopter. But yeah, very awesome set. Love the dinosaur. I love the paint job. Love the Kayla figure, though I wish it had more paint applied to it. And I love the playable features on this helicopter, which is really nice as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys again for the next one.